good things this morning. I'm excited about it. Hannah, if you can click on the one that says joy. There it is. Okay. So Bill Burns donated an iPad to the church, and I figured out how to link my iPad to the projectors and like do all this kind of fancy stuff. But I'm not very tech savvy, so this was a big deal for me. So I'm very proud of myself for it. So just bear with me if it messes up. We're going to go with it, and we're going to see what happens. All right. See, I'm already sweating. I need a bigger protein. All right. Well, Jacob got to share about our trip last week, and I'm telling you guys, it really affected me. That trip, it was powerful. The trip we went to Denver, it was powerful. It was awesome. And so one of the things that we were doing on the second day we were there, we were walking around. We had been down by the Salvation Army, seeing all the people that Jacob had told us about that were down there. The next day, the next morning, we went and said, okay, we talked to most of the people down in this area. Let's spread out a little bit. Let's see if there's any other people. And so me and Christina and Tyler and a few others, we walked down one street, and then so we were basically, if you're familiar with Austin, like all the east-west running streets are numbers, right? And so we walked down to 6th Street. So 6th Street is, in the world's eyes, where all the fun happens, right? In the world's eyes, that's where all the places to attend at night are located. You get my drift, right? And so that's what 6th Street is, what at the heart of what makes Austin weird. And they love it, and they dig it up. And so people down there, they were like, hey, come in here and come to this place, and hey, come to this place and have a good time. We got this going on, that going on. And I'm thinking, man, these guys, they're missing it. They're missing it. They think they're having fun, and they think they have joy in their hearts, and they think that they're just living their best life now, but they're completely missing it. And I was like, man. And so part of that trip, like I shared with y'all last week, was it's really heavy. It really weighs you down. And if you're not careful, you can let it suck you down. And man, I'm telling you, last week and kind of the first part of this week, I was down. I was in a bad spot. I was really trying to process everything, and I was trying to pray through a lot of stuff. And it was hard. And then I was sitting there and I was talking to Tori one day, and she was just talking about the joy that we're supposed to have in the Lord. Like, this is supposed to be fun. Like, this is supposed to be what sustains us and what motivates us and what drives us. This should be what fills us. This is joy. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect at it, because I'm not. I was telling Quentin and the guys this morning, and I was running around like crazy, trying to get everything ready for breakfast and trying to get all the technology stuff figured out that I'm trying to do. And I had to have a brother remind me, hey, you're supposed to be preaching about joy this morning, remember? I'm like, oh yeah, let me slow down for a second. But we're going to look at 2 Samuel chapter 6. So 2 Samuel chapter 6. And we're going to be talking about David this morning. So King David. All right, so we got to set the stage where we're at. We are in, David is now king. So Saul was king before David, and then before Saul we had the judges, and then before all the judges we had Joshua, and then before Joshua we had Moses, right? So that's kind of the history of where we come from. We're a few hundred years from Moses. We've progressed in the history of Israel, right? And that's where we're at. David is in Jerusalem, but the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark, this is what has God's presence. It has the tablets that has God's commands on them. And this is where God has chosen to dwell while here on earth. The Ark is missing. Well, it's not really missing. It's just not in Jerusalem. Because they had gone into battle earlier with the Philistines. The Philistines had defeated them. All right? And then they captured the Ark. Because the Israelites brought the Ark out, and they said, well, if we just bring this out with us, then we'll win. Well, it didn't happen that way. And so the Philistines captured the Ark. But when David came to power, right, going to get the Ark back. So they had a battle, and they got the Ark back. But they didn't bring it directly to Jerusalem. David did some other stuff, and now he's to the point, okay, I'm ready to bring it to Jerusalem. So that's where we're at. Okay, let's see if this works. Bam, look at that. Just one touch of the button. All right, here we go. So it says, and David and all the house of Israel were celebrating before the Lord with songs and lyres and harps and tambourines and castanets and cymbals. When they came to the threshing floor of Nacon, Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God struck him down there because of his error. He died there beside the ark of God. And David was angry because the Lord had spoken out against Uzzah. And that place is called Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, how can the ark of the Lord come to me? So David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord into the city of David, that is Jerusalem. But David took it aside to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. And it was told to King David, the Lord had blessed the household of Obed-Edom and all that belongs to him, because of the ark of God. So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. And when those who bore the ark of the Lord had gone 6 steps, they sacrificed an ox and a fat animal. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was wearing a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the horn. As the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out of the window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. And they brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place, inside the tent that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And when David had finished offering the burnt offerings and the peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, and distributed among all the people, the whole multitude of Israel, both men and women, a cake of bread, a portion of meat, and a cake of raisins to each one. Then all the people departed, each to his house. And David returned to bless his household. But Michal, the daughter of Saul, came to meet David and said, how the king of Israel honored himself today, uncovering himself today before the eyes of his servants, female servants, as one of vulgar follows shamelessly uncovers himself. And David said to Michal, it was before the Lord who chose me above your father and above all his house to appoint me as prince over Israel. The people of the Lord and I will celebrate before the Lord. I will make myself yet more contemptible than this, and I will be abased in your eyes. But by the female servants of whom you have spoken, by them I shall be held in honor. And Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no children until the day of her death. I know that's kind of a long story, but there's a lot of things going on in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pick up on the 6 major lessons that we can take away from this story. All right, lesson 1. We have to do it God's way. We have to do it God's way. See, we see in verses 5 through 9, it says that David and all the house were celebrating before the Lord with songs and with lyres and harps and all these things. And he said, when Uzzah put out his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, the oxen stumbled, because the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against him, and God struck him down there because of his error. He died there beside the ark of God. So here's what I think about, right? I think about if I was in that situation, would I have reached down to try to grab the ark from falling on the ground? Would I have tried to save the thing that holds the presence of God from falling on the ground? And I have to say I probably would have. You see, Uzzah's death wasn't on himself for the actions that he did. Uzzah was struck down because David was not following the law. See, someone else suffered and died because of David's mistakes. See, it says in Numbers 4:15, it says, when Aaron and his sons had finished covering the sanctuary and all the furnishings of the sanctuary, and as the camp sets out, and after the sons of Kohath shall come to carry these, but they must not touch the holy things, lest they die. You see, these holy things, this is what it's talking about, the ark. You see, we see it's Aaron and his sons who are supposed to be the ones leading the ark. It's Aaron and his sons who have been prescribed a way to handle the ark. It's them who are supposed to do it, and there's supposed to be certain sacrifices, and there's supposed to be a way that it's done. And David was puffed up, and he said, I'm going to bring the ark of the covenant to Jerusalem. I'm going to bring it to the city of David, which is named after me. I'm going to do these things. So give me some men and let's go. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to do it my way. You see, the first lesson we have to learn is we have to do it God's way. Because he tells us how to do it. He tells us how to do it. Second thing is God's presence is a blessing. God's presence is a blessing. And it always, always leads to his people experiencing his joy. Right? So we have two main characters. You know, we see the death of Uzzah, and then basically in the story after this, we have David and we have Micah. So, starting in verse 10, it says, So David was not willing to take the ark of the Lord into the city of David. But he left it at his other guy's house, Obed-Edom, the Gittite. That's kind of a mouthful for a name. Like, hey, what's your name? I'm Obed-Edom, the Gittite. That's a lot. Right? So this Obed-Edom, he was blessed. See, he didn't choose, like, hey, I'm going to go get the ark and bring it into my house. He willfully accepted the presence of God under no conditions, under no work, under nothing. He just said, okay, the Lord's going to be here, got it. He did nothing against the law. He did nothing out of place. He just sat there and rested in God's presence. And so God's presence led to the blessing. See, imagine David saying he's going to leave the ark in your house. Right? So we're gonna create a mental picture. Say this is our home. Say we live here, right? And so these guys are coming down the road from Olney, and they're going to Graham, and they're bringing this thing, and there's this big caravan of people, and it's this huge thing, like, man, it could be like the president coming through or something like that. But then right outside your door over here, right here by the parking lot, it starts to fall, and someone picks it up, and then you see a lightning bolt come down from heaven and kill this dude right on the spot. And then the leader of that group says, hey, we're done. We're just going to bring it in here real fast. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up a second, right? No way. I'm not going to do that. But you see this guy, Obed-Edom, he was a faithful. He said, if the Lord's presence needs to be here, it needs to be here, and I'm going to accept it. I'm going to accept it, and it's going to be a blessing. See, even though Obed-Edom saw these things, he knew that if he stayed within the will of God, that he would receive the blessing of God. All right. Lesson 3. God's plan is always better than ours. God's plan is always better than ours. Verse 12 and 13, it says, And it was told to King David, The Lord has blessed the household of Obed-Edom and all the things that belong to him, because of the ark of God. So David went and brought the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. And when those who bore the ark of the Lord had gone 6 steps, he sacrificed an ox and a fat lamb. You see, there in 13 is the whole, it's like the linchpin, it's what holds this whole thing together. It says he went every 6 steps and he sacrificed an ox. Alright, so we're traveling from Olney to Graham. Right? We made it part of the way. Dude died because he tried to save the ark, but it was against God's will. And then they start going again. And so from here, another 13 miles to Graham, every 6 steps. Like, for real. Like, let's look at it. I'm a visual person, right? So, every 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm halfway across, sacrifice an ox. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, I'm right here. From right there to right here, sacrifice another ox. All the way to Graham. That's a lot of ox, right? I'm telling you. Oxen. Is that oxen? Is that the correct pronunciation? Oxen. Oxen? I don't know. Oxen. I know it's not oxen. But that's a lot, right? It really is. Like from to cross the stage, right here, to cross the stage, 3 ox. And not just like your old nasty, like skinny one who's about to go out to the pasture to die. He's talking about the fattened ox, your prime choice beef right here, right? Sacrificing these all the way to ground. Why is he doing that? What's the purpose behind every 6 step sacrificing? It's the reverence. He said, you know what? I messed up last time. But I'm putting everything else. I don't care what my possessions are. I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to honor God in everything that I do. I'm going to honor God in everything that I do. Because I saw what it looks like when I do it on my own. I saw what it looks like when I do it on my own. And I saw how I failed. So I'm going to honor God. Every 6 steps. Reverence. You see, David was able to take the ox from Obed-Edom's house into Jerusalem because of his obedience. His obedience and his motive for moving it. It's not that, hey, I, David, am going to bring this ark and I'm going to get the glory for it. It's now, every 6 steps, we're going to stop what we're doing and we're going to glorify God. Could you imagine living your day like that? I mean, for real. You go to work, like, every 30 seconds. Let's just say every 1 minute. You're going to sacrifice something? Okay, we're not sacrificing, right? So let's say every 1 minute, I'm going to give honor to God. I'm going to stop and I'm going to pray. I'm going to stop and I'm going to pray. Right? 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray without ceasing. Right? So every minute I'm going to stop and say, thank you, Lord. I'm still alive. I'm still here. You haven't shut me down yet. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. All right, what was I doing? Go back. 1 minute later. Thank you, Lord. I'm still here. You haven't killed me. You love me. You gave your son for me. Imagine the obedience. Now, that's not what 1 Thessalonians is talking about. It's talking about living a life filled in the Spirit. But that's how committed David was. That's how committed he was to the Lord and being in the Lord's will and in his obedience. All right. Lesson 4. Joy comes through being in God's will. See, verse 14 says, David danced before the Lord with all his might. And David was wearing a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord, shouting and with the sound of the horn. David danced with all his might. Do we have any, like, okay, for real, who likes to dance? Maybe not good at dancing, but who likes to dance? All right? Tori, you should be like the highest one. Tori loves to dance. Tori loves to dance. I cannot stand it. Right? I am not a dancer. I cannot sing and like clap and keep rhythm at the same time because I'm going to sing the wrong words or I'm going to clap to the wrong rhythm. I'm sorry. She can attest to it. I told you guys, if you're ever up here singing, don't look at me to try to like keep the words right or anything because it's not going to happen. Okay? And that's okay. But David was so filled with joy that he had to dance. And not only dance, he had to dance with all his might. Right? Have you seen those crazy videos of like the old guy just dancing at a concert all by himself, like doing his own thing in his own little world? That's David. In the middle of the biggest city. Right? So David's walking through downtown Dallas and then he's just dancing. He doesn't care. Because he's getting his joy from the Lord. He doesn't care what's going on around him. His circumstances don't bother him. The situation doesn't affect him. He's getting his joy from the Lord. And he has to let it come out. He has to let it come out. All right. So some of you have probably heard this, like, oh, David danced in his underwear, or David was naked, or David danced in the streets and said whatever. Like, so it says here, he was wearing a linen ephod. So what in the world is that? What's a linen ephod? So it's just a white linen robe. That's all it is. All right? It's a robe. It's a robe that a priest wore. It's as simple as that. So was he naked? No. No, he wasn't naked. All right? Does anyone have a translation out there that says naked in your Bible? I read from the ESV. So if you got something that says naked, go get your Bible. But was he wearing, so why was he wearing only that? You see, the linen ephod, the pure white linen ephod represented holiness before the Lord. It represented holiness before the Lord. So David was out in front of the ark. He was a sign of the presence of the Lord coming, and he had to be holy, he had to be purified, he had to be ceremonially clean. And so he was wearing the white linen robe. And that's all it was. Nothing more than that. Okay? But what does say? It says one of the things here is our outward actions are a representation of what's flowing out of us. Our outward actions and our outward behavior and the words that we choose to use are a representation of what is in us. You see, only what is overflowing comes out of us. Right? So how do we know that? Right? It's what Jesus said. It says, then the Lord said to him, it's the Lord's Jesus. So Jesus said to him, now then, you Pharisees clean out the outside of your cup and dish, but inside you are full of greed and wickedness. You foolish people, did not the one who made the outside also make the inside? See, we're supposed to clean up the inside. It's not about for them, part of it was the white robe and being ceremonially clean and going through all these steps. But here, we've got to remember that Jesus tells us to clean out the inside. All right? We've got to deal with our spiritual things inside, because what's inside of us will be what comes out of us. And that's key. We can't forget that. So we have to remember, are we being filled with the Holy Spirit? Are we being filled with the world? Like I told you, those people that were down on 6th Street, they're being filled with the world. They're being filled with the temporary happiness and the temporary satisfaction of the world. Is that what we're being filled with? Or are we being filled with the joy that only comes from the Lord, that flows out through the power of the Holy Spirit? Is that what we're being filled with? Each of us know. So one of the things that we can do as people is that we can fake it, right? Sometimes we can say the right things for an extended period of time to make it look like we have the right things coming out of us. But ultimately, time will tell. Ultimately, whenever the pressure's on, right? So you know how diamonds are made? Heat and pressure, right? Heat and pressure. So when the pressure's on, what is really in us is actually going to come out. And that's where we see our true colors. So what's going to come out of you and what's going to come out of me? Lesson 5, there's always a root. There's always a root to something's going on. It's never what it seems on the surface. So verses 16 through 20, it says, as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out the window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord. And she despised him in her heart. They brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent that David made. David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. It says down here in verse 20, it says, and David returned to bless his household, but Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, how the king of Israel honored himself today, uncovering himself before the eyes of his servants, female servants, as one of the vulgar fellows shamelessly uncovers himself. See, she's being like overtly sarcastic here, saying, oh, how you honored yourself by going out and making a fool of yourself today. So what's going on? Why is she so upset about that? Why is she feeling that? See, the key is that she's the daughter of Saul. Right? So Saul, the reason I gave you the history leading up to it, Saul was the king before David, but Saul went crazy. And he tried to kill David a lot of times. And Michal originally loved David, but then she has this like bitter thing going on because David is now in the place where her father is supposed to be. And David is ruling over a kingdom that her father is supposed to have. And there's this bitterness that's down inside her. You see, there's always the deep-rooted issue. It's never the behavior that's on the surface. You see, and one of the things that happens here is when we have this jealousy, so Michal is the root of jealousy in our life. When we have this root of jealousy, this keeps you from experiencing the joy of the Lord. There was nothing there, nothing going on saying that she should not experience the joy that everyone else is experiencing by the presence of the Lord coming into Jerusalem. Nothing. If she would have joined in and said, I am so thankful that the ark is here, I'm so thankful for what the Lord is doing for our people, she would have joined right in, and she would have been right alongside him. But instead, she has this root down inside of her. She has this issue that she can't get over. She has this jealousy because it's David bringing it in and not her father. You see, that jealousy, when we get down to it, sometimes jealousy is not the actual root. Sometimes the actual root is pride. It's pride. And it's self. Because when you get to the root of pride, right, you got to keep digging. You got to keep pulling back these layers. It's not jealousy, it's pride. But it's not pride, it's self. Me. Putting myself above the presence of the Lord. Experiencing that. See, it's when we make it about us, when we should be making it about Him. We make it about us when we should be making it about Him. And I'm telling you right now, I do it. And if you say you don't, you're lying to me and you need to go to the pen. Because we all do it. We all do it. I'm not saying we live in that state, but we all have moments where we put ourselves first. Right? We all do. I do it. Whenever I go home, I do my laundry. There's all this laundry that needs to be done. Right? I don't do Tori's laundry. I do my laundry. Right? I need some clothes. I got this to do. I got that to do. It's a bad example. I'm not saying Tori doesn't do laundry, okay? Don't take that the wrong way. I'm going to go home and repent, okay? But you get the point. We put ourselves first. I'm going to stop digging that hole. It's not in my notes. We put ourselves first, and that's the point. And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's different for all of us. It's different. We put ourselves first. All right. So, lesson 6. The joy of the Lord may look foolish to the world, and may even be offensive to some. The joy of the Lord may look foolish to the world, but may be offensive to some. You see, Michal was worried about appearances. She was worried about how people looked at the kingly family. She was worried about how she was going to be presented as David's wife. She was worried about all this outward stuff instead of just receiving the true joy that comes from God. You see, true worship, the worship that's undefiled by anything that we bring to the table, when we just worship and just seek God in His purest form, see, that is a position of humility towards God. You see, and we have to get ourselves out of the way, that whole pride and self stuff. When we come before the Lord and we want to worship Him and we want to receive His joy, we got to get ourselves out of the way first. That selfishness that I have to get rid of it. And I have to say, I'm going to choose joy, that the joy that only the Lord can give. And I have to choose it. I have to say, I want to come to the table. And I want to wipe everything off the table. And I want to just be you and me, Lord. And that's it. No circumstances, no situation, no preconceived ideas, no nothing. Lord, I just want to come to you. I just want to come to the altar and come to you. That is true humility towards the Lord. And so, that's where we're at this morning. So are we humbly getting our joy from the Lord? Are we dancing with everything that we have before the Lord and just saying, I don't care what the Lord or what the world has to say. I don't care how people see me, what they think about me. I know that the Lord has given me this passion. I know that He has given me this thing that just wells up inside me that I can't hold in, that just only comes from Him. And I want to share it with everyone that I come across. Is that where we're at? Or you're like me, last week, where I was worried. And I was dealing with things. And I'm not saying you can't deal with things, but I'm saying we shouldn't live in a state of defeat. We shouldn't go in and day out saying, the world has put so much on me that I can't take it. Because we know that if we just position ourselves like David, we will have that joy. And we know that Christ has overcome. And so we know and we believe and we walk in faith that Christ is going to keep doing the things that He says He's going to do. And all we have to do is walk in it and have faith. You see, David got his joy from the presence, from the ark, and we get ours from the Lord Jesus Christ. It's no more, see, they had to bring in the ark and then bring it into the tabernacle, the tent, and the Lord's presence was only in a certain spot. And thank you for the work of the cross and the resurrection and the coming and the indwelling of the Holy Spirit that now says the Lord is with us all. The Lord is with us all. We don't have to go to a spot. We don't have to get ritually clean. He is with us. All we have to say is, yes, I want to be in your presence. And he comes in. That's all we have to do is just submit to him and say, I want to be in your presence. See, it's impossible to have true joy without Christ. Michal had everything the world had to offer. She was married to the king. She lived in a comfortable life. She didn't have a single need. She was married to the king. She doesn't have any needs in the physical world. See, yet her heart was still bitter. Her heart was still bitter. Her heart wasn't turned towards God. You can have everything in the world. Everything can be going right. And your heart can still be bitter. You can have nothing. And you can get bitter about having nothing. And you can turn away from the Lord. Whether you have everything or you have nothing, if your heart is positioned to turn towards Christ, then you have everything. You have everything right there. It's a heart condition that we have to deal with. And so where are we at this morning? Where is your heart at this morning? Is your heart turned towards the Lord? Saying, I want to receive your joy. I want to receive your love. I want to receive everything that you have for me. Everything that you have for me. Or we have a bit of root down inside that's keeping us. Saying, yeah, well, you know, I want to make excuses for why they're so happy. I want to make excuses for why some people can worship and why I can't. Instead of dealing with our own self. Instead of saying that it's okay. And to submit ourselves to Christ. And receive the blessing that he has for us. See, Christ has already done all the work. You don't have to do anything. You do not have to sacrifice an animal every 6 steps. You do not have to follow the law and be ritually clean. You don't have to wear a certain garment to represent holiness. Christ has already done all that. See, he came to fulfill the law. He's already did the law. You don't have to do anything. So don't think that you're here on accident this morning. Don't think that you're here just on happenstance. You're here for a reason. See, God has drawn each and every one of us here for this specific time and this specific purpose. He's giving all of us an opportunity to respond. So if you've never said, I want to experience the Lord in that way, I want to say yes to Christ and his work on the cross, and I want to be a part of his kingdom, then you can do that today. Or if you've done that, maybe it's been a long time, and you say, I need to come back, and I need to say, all right, I'm back, and I'm focused, and I'm ready to go again. I'm ready to serve. Then you can do that this morning. That's what we're here for. We're here for the body. So how are you going to respond? How are you going to respond? What are we going to do? Whenever the Lord is calling on you and he's pulling on your heart and he's saying, I have something to give you. I have more than what you could ever dream for. How are we going to respond? And so you guys know that we take communion. And we do it every Sunday. And one of the things that I don't want to happen is I don't want this to become routine. I don't want it to be like it's just something that we do every Sunday, just like singing songs. What I want you to do is I want you to examine your heart. I want us to meditate on what Christ did for us, why we take communion. And then I want you to actually examine the position of your heart and where you're at. And if you got things that you need to deal with, if you got things that are just weighing on you right now, these altars are open. They are open right now for you. Young, old, everyone in between, they're open for you. The Lord is doing something in your life, don't ignore him. Don't ignore him. He's going to keep calling. He's going to keep calling.